The one royal, who will never be invited to Princess Leonor's wedding. Every royal wedding carries with it an air of destiny. The carriages, the cathedral bells, the gathered families, and the glittering crowns all set the stage for a story of unity. The world expects perfection, an event where every seat is filled with the most important figures of royalty and power. But what if that expectation is broken? What if, amidst the joy, there is one name, a royal name, that will never appear on Princess Leonor's wedding guest list? One royal who will remain outside the palace doors, no matter how grand the celebration inside. Because while many speculate about who will attend, the truth is that one royal's absence is already certain. Not forgotten, not overlooked, intentionally excluded. And that decision tells us more about the future of the monarchy than the ceremony itself. Who is this royal, and why has their presence become impossible? To understand this, we must first step into the heart of tradition. Royal weddings have always been about more than love. They are displays of unity, power, and diplomacy. Every seat at the banquet table sends a message. Every handshake is symbolic. Inclusion signals approval, exclusion signals conflict. And in Leonor's case, the stakes are higher than ever, because she is not just a bride, she is Spain's future queen. Now, here is where the story takes its dramatic turn. The royal who will never be invited is tied to scandal, to betrayal, to controversies the palace cannot risk resurfacing on Leonor's day. Imagine the scene, the world watching, cameras flashing, history being written. Any glimpse of this individual could undo years of carefully curated image. The monarchy cannot allow that shadow to fall across their brightest day. But who exactly are we speaking of? Some whispers point toward disgraced members of Spain's extended royal family. Those whose names became headlines for corruption, financial scandal, or moral missteps. The palace has worked tirelessly to shield Leonor from these stains, crafting her image as pure, dutiful, and untainted. To invite such a figure would be to remind the world of wounds still healing. Others speculate it is not Spain's internal family but a foreign royal who crossed an invisible line, one whose presence would ignite political firestorms or reopen divisions better left in the past. Could it be a British royal, estranged and polarizing, whose attendance would turn the wedding into a global media circus? Could it be a figure from another monarchy whose ties with Spain soured, whose controversies make them too dangerous to stand beside Leonor? The truth, insiders suggest, is that the decision was made long ago. This royal's name will never be whispered in palace planning meetings. Their invitation will never be written. The locks on the doors of the cathedral might as well be sealed against them. And the reason lies in something deeper than simple scandal, it lies in the palace's understanding of memory. Royalty lives in the long shadow of history. Every move is compared to what came before. Every decision is judged against centuries of precedent. For Leonor, who represents a new beginning for Spain's crown, there is no room for old ghosts. By excluding this one royal, the palace sends a clear message: the future will not be burdened by the past. But here lies the curiosity loop that keeps us searching for answers. If one royal can be banned so absolutely, what about others? Who decides where the line is drawn? And what happens when the public begins to ask why? Because every absence raises suspicion. Every closed door sparks speculation. By banning one, the palace risks attention falling not on who is present, but on who is missing. Imagine the day itself. Leonor walking down the aisle, her gown a masterpiece of Spanish tradition, Christian waiting with devotion at the altar. The cameras sweep the audience, showcasing kings and queens, presidents and dignitaries. But in living rooms across the world, viewers will be asking the same question: why isn't that one royal here? What happened to exile them so completely? The answer is layered. For some, it is personal, the sting of betrayal, the fracture of family ties too deep to mend. For others, it is political, the calculation that one person's presence could destabilize delicate relationships. And for the monarchy itself, it is strategic, cutting off a branch of the family tree to protect the root that must endure. Let us step closer to Leonor herself. At 18, she carries the weight of history in every step. She knows her wedding will not only unite her with Christian, but symbolize her path to the throne. Does she herself feel relief at this exclusion? Or sorrow? Imagine her private thoughts, torn between family loyalty and royal duty. The palace speaks for her, but inside, she must reconcile the pain of absence with the responsibility of image. And Christian. As a prince of Denmark, he too knows the cost of scandal. His own family has faced public controversies, and he understands the scrutiny of the crown. Together, they must accept that their wedding is not truly their own. It belongs to the monarchy, to the state, to the narrative of unity that demands perfection. And perfection, in this case, means exclusion. Here the story deepens further. Because the one royal who will never be invited is not just an individual, they are a symbol. A reminder of what the monarchy fears, what it seeks to bury, and what it must overcome to survive in the modern world. Their absence becomes louder than their presence could ever have been. But will this strategy succeed? Or will the ban create more intrigue, more whispers, more questions than their attendance ever would? History shows us that bans rarely erase memory. In fact, they often keep the memory alive. Think of other royal weddings, where empty seats spoke louder than filled ones. Each absence told a story, each story added to the legend. For Leonor, this will be no different. When the bells toll, when the vows are spoken, when Spain celebrates its future queen, that one royal's shadow will still linger, silent, but undeniable. And the world will wonder, what does it mean to be cut off from family, from tradition, from history itself? Because in the end, weddings are not only about who is there. They are about who is not. And sometimes, the most powerful presence is the one that never walks through the door. So as we await the grandest wedding Spain has seen in decades, remember this: behind the glitter, behind the smiles, behind the carefully arranged guest list, lies a decision that speaks volumes. One royal will never be invited. And in that silence, a truth about power, love, and monarchy is revealed, one that will shape the reign of Princess Leonor before it even begins.